This is Kevin, Gamertag Magil, and it's part 14 of my Stuntman Ignition Let's Play. And in this first one, I'm going to drive a really badass car, or at least badass looking car. I assume it's not actually real. I don't really know. They give it a kind of real sounding name. But look at how awesome that looks. So good. It's a problem with all these driving games. You always end up driving super awesome cars, and you're like, I will never have one of those. And it's just kind of sad. Now, in these ones, I might mess up a couple of times because I'm trying to do too much and keep the string going instead of just getting it done. I know in this one I'm going to mess up a couple of times. There's a lot of steering things, or precision steering, where they want you to go somewhere that's kind of not what I would call the best route to take, which is something I complain about a lot in these videos. But this one, if you notice, there's lots of wider open areas, and it really seems like you're supposed to be riding right alongside the lava and then turning with it to go through that one instead of going straight, which I was, and following the path I was on. So it's kind of, you're really learning these routes as you go. And you'd think, because this one was earlier and I've done this before, that I'd have absorbed those lessons in these ones and be aware for it for the next, later missions, and not get so frustrated by it and kind of learn the general routes they kind of want you to take, but I never really do figure that out, and I always kind of make those mistakes every time until I learn it from that actual mission again. Now, the last one I was complaining about how volcano movies suck, and I don't actually like them unlike the other movies you stunt drive for, but I think if I saw the trailer for a volcano movie with like the badass action scenes that I'm doing, I'd probably be okay with going and actually seeing that movie. I might regret it afterwards, but there'd at least be those awesome action scenes to hold me over for the really cliched kind of natural disaster elements of the movie that always have to happen in the movies that go like this or are structured like these ones are. But that's just kind of thing you gotta accept with some movies if you like the genres and the kind of genre conceits that they're always gonna have. Here I'm feeling good because I'm at least always nailing that getting nominated stunt thing, so that's always something I aim for. Even after I've already done it, I kind of like to be able to hit at least the one that's like the signature move, and that one's kind of badass where your car gets lit on fire and then you gotta drive through a drive-through car wash to put yourself out, which is kind of badass. Here you can see me correcting myself to go through that one building and then not being lined up right for the next one. But I've got a nice string going here, and I think I lose it right there, right before the last stunt, just like I did in the one before this. And I'm going to do it in the next one too. So it's going to be a perfect run right up until the end where I just mess up and can't get my 5 stars. So I do that 3 times in a row. And it was a little bit frustrating, but I mean, it's still 4 stars, so it's still pretty good. Now, there might be a bit of a break before I put up another one of these, or the 15th part, because I bought Gears of War 3 and I'm playing it a lot, and I'll probably work on recording stuff for that game instead. But I will come back to Stuntman because it is fun, but Gears is new, so it seems more fun right now. But I'll save talking about Gears more for when I actually do a Gears video. So here I'm on a motorcycle, and these ones are a little bit tougher than other ones. Here I've recently found out the problem I was having is I couldn't see that car because my TV's brightness was way the fuck down, which I found it because I played Gears, and it's like, move the slider till the leftmost cog is barely visible, and I slid it all the way to the most bright, and I could still barely see the ones on the right. I was like, oh, that's a problem. So it made sense why I was having trouble seeing cars and shit coming in this game, and while I was watching Angel, the TV series, why I could never make out what the fuck was going on because it was all dark and shit. So that was enlightening. So it should help me make less mistakes of running into cars like I'm doing on this one. But yeah, going back to the motorcycles, like, it's tougher because you can get thrown off the motorcycle, but to string it together is a little bit easier because you can do those wheelies that let you keep any string going and you can just pull it off anywhere. There I was trying to pull it off but didn't quite get it. That happens too. I mean, sometimes you're just coming off a stunt, you can't just throw out a wheelie anyway, or coming off the turn is where you usually can't quite do it. But for most situations, it works perfectly well, as long as you don't wreck yourself because you're popping wheelies all the time, which is very easy to do. So here we got all kinds of crazy shit happening all around me while I'm driving. Not too much of it really affects me directly, but it's just kind of blowing up and there's fire and explosions, and this truck fucking hits me so many times in a row. I feel like its sole purpose in this one was to fuck me up right at the ending before I finish this mission. But that's the kind of stuff that happens in games. I mean, if they were easy, it wouldn't really be much of a point in playing them and trying to get things done. It'd just won't be that much fun. But in general, I like to play on normal difficulty, which I kind of like in Stuntman, as there is no difficulty. It's always just Stuntman. I mean, there's the easy mode you can take so you can't fail if you just want to go through all the missions, but you can't earn 5 stars and you can't do the really awesome shit that really makes you feel like you beat the game, in my opinion. So it's kind of nice for the people who can't get the hang of things, which it looks like I can't here, but I want to pull my shit together on this run, I believe, and finish this one off. And then we'll be going back to, I think the ones coming up are ones I haven't done since the first time I played through the game, so you'll actually be seeing me play all of those, or every playthrough on those. And while I talk about how I was going to cut some of the stuff off when I fail, I don't want to cut all of it out, because then it wouldn't really be like a let's play. You'd just be watching me succeed in the game, which, I mean, I guess is kind of the point of the let's play, but I think the failure here I really thought that was going to screw me over, as it should have, because I was right on all that rock blowing up, but I get to keep going, so it's okay. Shit. Oh, yeah, so I'll keep some of the failures in, but I'm not going to, if I just fail all the time, I'm not going to keep making people watch that shit, because that would be brutal to watch. Especially once I get to the James Bond and Batman ones. Especially if I try pushing myself for the 5 stars, it makes it so much easier to mess up, and you're just taking too many chances and not getting things done. So for the most part, it's not going to be too much of the failures, but there will be some, because it's just part of the game, and it shows you the learning process of how the game works.